That's right.
Hey everybody, welcome into the Beehive. I'm your host, TheBee at LLC, and this is where we stack precious metals like it's pollen and nectar. Our pollen is silver, and our nectar is gold and osmium. And we are going to be talking with a few other individuals here who have jumped on the osmium bandwagon, and see what we can learn here today. We've got Ian Everard with ARK. Let me bring him up. And there we all are. Nick from California, welcome in. Barry down in Texas, welcome in everybody. Thanks for being here. And yeah, so we got 888 in the chat. Welcome in 888. Kevin Hawthorne, good to see you. And let's get going. How are you doing, Ian?
I've had better days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of those responses today, so must be one of those days. So yeah, good to have you guys in. Talk a little bit about osmium here today. I have good news that my osmium nectar is officially in the mail and on the way. So I'm gonna do an unboxing when it gets here. I'm excited about it. I got some great ideas for it and great deals on it. So especially for those who have been with me from the beginning on it, and there will be some other good deals to come as well. I also have some different shapes coming in, and some good ideas for that, along with some jewelry ideas. So that's kind of what I have going on right now, and yeah, let's see what's new with Ian. What do you got? What do you got on your desk for new things in osmium?
On my desk.
on your plate, on your mind.
I'm gonna let someone else go first.
Okay. Nick, how about you?
All I have really been working on some new jewelry. Signed up for some classes with my wife, and we've been taking jewelry classes. Had a bracelet that I made. Ian purchased it. I don't know if he has it with him, but
that's right. I seen that. Yeah, that was awesome.
Some pictures. I only started it. My the jeweler that I work with, Danny from Repairs. Repairs by JRC in El Cajon.
Okay.
Is, where I get my jewelry made. As far as
El Cajon, and that is
in California. San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
San Diego County. He's the only jeweler that I know of that's been working with osmium here on the West Coast. So I'm trying to jump on his bandwagon, and I try to start stuff that I get ideas of and pass it on to him, and he finishes setting the osmium for me.
Okay.
And he's great. He just jumped in it. I just found him by chance, going to pick up some dry cleaners, and his shop was right next door. And I went in, started talking to him after I had talked to about 5 or 6 other jewelers, and they all pretty much said, no, we don't know what osmium is, and we don't work with it. So I was blessed to find Danny, and it's been a great relationship ever since. And actually, I'm wearing a little ring that he made with a triangle, osmium triangle here.
Nice.
It's a silver, it's a 7mm triangle.
Oh yeah.
And a gold bezel.
Very cool.
He's got a bunch of stuff that he's made for me. So that's where I'm at right now, and just trying to keep it going.
Cool. Yeah, I got to see several of your items at the Osmium Symposium here in Denver, and I was very impressed. You guys are coming up with some very nice stuff, so that is very cool. And how about you, Barry? What have you been up to with the new metal?
What up to, or with the new metals?
Yeah,
so, I guess with the metals, I'm going to show a few things. I mean, I basically I'm trying to come on the side that makes it affordable for people who want to get into osmium for the first time. So I have little pieces of jewelry that I have, and some of these little box earring, which is one of the most common pieces that you can get for a couple $100, and you really can't see the sparkle, unfortunately, in this camera. And I also have, oh gosh, it's very difficult. A heart.
Oh, there it is.
Heart,
yep.
Earring, and these are
missing the whole background, Barry.
Yeah, I mean, my background's pretty dull right now, so this is the background I've got. But yeah,
and that heart, was that in an earring setting, or was that a pendant?
It's an earring setting, right?
Earring? Okay.
Yeah, it's an earring setting. And I'm working on some other pieces, larger ones, but I've gotten sidelined the past few weeks, to say the least.
Sure.
Some things have happened, but and then I just for kicks, this is the latest thing I got, which is one of the very few osmium watches.
Oh wow, that is amazing. I seen that too at the symposium, and that was my favorite piece out of all the pieces I've seen put into jewelry. That one I mentioned there at the show is that's probably the favorite piece I've seen. So that's a very nice piece. I was a little jealous when I seen that you bought that, but yeah, very, very nice pickup.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I mean, unfortunately, camera does not do it justice, not even close.
Indeed.
It is unreal how absolutely stunning it is and beautiful.
Yep. And it had I really liked the sparkle grade of the osmium, and it had a nice blue hue. It was one of my favorite pieces.
So yeah, I'd like to get in more of that. I know Ian himself, I don't know if I should be telling Ian's working on coming up with osmium watches himself, and I think it's perfect for that. It just accents watches amazingly, and it's actually obviously super rare. So I think it's a beautiful match to work with watches. I can't wait to see what Ian comes up with. I'd like to have more time myself.
I think it's one of the finest uses, in my opinion, for osmium.
So, nickel or 888. Which piece were you wondering what the retail is on, the heart earrings or the watch?
No, he wants Barry's watch.
I think probably so. That's my guess.
Yeah, it's going to be more than you want to pay, probably.
The watch, yep. No, understand.
Yeah, you can go on oslery.com and see watches they have for sale. There's a few others that are osmium, and you'll see what they're asking.
Yep. Yeah, and I know Space Miner, he was supposed to be with us tonight. He is distracted with some important work he's doing right at the moment, but he also was looking at some watchmakers I know and talking with them. So watches are it's a beautiful setting for it for sure. So Ian, are you ready for me to come your way yet? Or
I was just going to ask Barry. Somebody commented if you hold it in front of your face, it won't disappear with your background.
It'd be a vast improvement too.
Yeah. You want to just turn it slowly until you get the good. That's a good. Oh,
yep.
Back. Stop.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can start to see the colors in that.
I mean, imagine that times 10 is what you see in the sun. It's crazy.
Yeah. This is definitely kind of a in hands type of a product. It's very hard to get the camera to show anything worthwhile. I have another camera with another angle, the microscope that should be a little bit better. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got it.
Nick's got his microscope on in the background there.
I see that, right? So yeah, this you can get a little bit better look under a microscope at it when you get down in close. You can see some of those peaks and crevices and highlights and a little bit of the blue. So. But yeah, so how about you, Ian? What do you got going on there? You got anything new that you come up with for ideas with it, or?
I think I found a unique way of selling it today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a client came in. He started to buy a piece of gold each month. So I pulled the gold box out and I was just pulling bits out, and it happened to be there was a teardrop piece. In fact, that's the piece I pulled out for you, Nick. I had to put that in the gold box so I wouldn't forget it. And he saw it. It caught the light because we got the bright white LED lights in the store. And he goes, "What is that?" It's like So that was interesting. Let people just discover it, almost hide it amongst other stuff. So,
yeah, well, that's what's cool, because if you see it in person, it just
Yeah.
grabs your attention. You're like, that's the thing, is you try to show it here on camera, and it really just it does not the same effect when you get in your shop or you see it in person. It'll grab your attention. So he didn't know about it.
no, I think we just need a better camera, don't we, really, to show it off? I mean, there's got to be a way.
I was trying to show off the difference in sparkle between the diamond ring and the osmium. I don't know if it came across when I was doing it, but in sunshine is the osmium. Just it's hands down. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna say, if anyone wants to see that watch also in sunlight, it's on the at Osmium_Connect is my Instagram, and I have a little reel on there with a bunch of jewelry that we had in Denver, and that watch that Barry had on is part of that reel. So if anyone wants to check it out.
So that was before Barry stole it.
I did not steal it. He is just jealous. He wants two. One's not enough for him.
Yeah, and when you get a chance, Nick, if you don't mind dropping that your what you just said in the chat, so that people can find it easy. That whatever what was it again? Underscore what?
At Osmium_Connect.
Okay.
And I
put it in our little chat here.
Zarete Jewels on Instagram is where I have a video on the watch if you want to see that.
Yeah, if you guys want to drop any of that stuff in the chat, you're more than welcome. I would appreciate it. That way people can just copy down the actual correct information and get to it a lot easier.
You might have to paste it over for me here, but
and if you can't in this live, just shoot it over to me and I'll put it in the description down below for after the video for anybody that comes in. But yeah, so one new thing that I'm working on here is Ian. Before I've showed you guys let me grab my camera so I can see what I'm doing. So Ian has came up with this product with another guy. They collaborate and make these cylinders, revolver cylinders, and you can get them with just the regular bullet with they're just solid silver. It says right on the back there, 3/9 fine, ½ ounce. Every bullet is a ½ ounce. And the cylinder is 3 ounces. So the fully loaded cylinder is 6 ounces. And then with that model, I went ahead and collaborated as well on the good idea. And I am popping in some crystalline osmium into the back of the bullet for the primer. And I have not got it completed, but I will be making this first cylinder a unique piece filled with inset osmium, 3mm diamond, sparkle grade 3 crystallized osmium inset into these bullets. So you'll have 6 ounces of pure silver when this is full, and 6 3mm diamond cut sparkle grade 3 osmium pieces inset. So I'm really excited about that. I will also, this piece will be a unique prototype piece. It will be for sale once I get everything inset and marked and COA with it and everything. But I'm also going to be selling just the bullets themselves inset with osmium. So there's several different options for you to get into it here. Obviously, it's another really cool idea is to buy the cylinder itself. And then over time, you can buy the bullet singly from me with the inset osmium, or you could just buy the cylinder with all solid silver as well. But if you want the inset osmium, this way you can buy the cylinder and buy one bullet at a time, so that over time you'll be able to fill your complete cylinder. So that's a project I got going that I'm excited about. I think looks very cool. I wasn't sure what it would look like, but after I got this first piece in there, I'm pretty happy with it. So
just a little correction there. They're not diamond cut. They just decided to call the 3mm round pieces diamonds.
Thank you for that correction. Yes.
Yeah. So nothing to do with diamonds except that it sparkles more in sunlight. Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah. And so, up close. There we go.
And that's the 3mm, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, that's in the bullet.
That's in the bullet, and
Wow.
It's sparkle grade 3.
Didn't Ryan do that chamfer? Really, the chamfer on that he did that so neatly.
Yep, it's I'm really happy with it all the way around. I think it's going to be a great product, and whether you get a full cylinder or buy it piece by piece or just the bullet, I'm happy about it. I think it's a great way to get into osmium, hold it, display it, all the above. So
it is actually beautiful in person. They're amazingly beautiful. Unfortunately, can't appreciate it on camera.
Yep, indeed. So I just kind of wanted to bring you guys up and introduce you to the world. So if anybody is in California, we've got Nick. Now we have someone else also in California, and he was going to be here tonight. He did reach out to me and say the next show he's going to make sure and make room for to get here. And so we will bring in Michael on the next one. He's also in California. But if you're in California, you've got 2 connections, and Nick is doing some amazing work with it, amazing jewelry. So definitely look them up. And of course, you got me here in Colorado. You got Ian. He's in Idaho and Wyoming.
And Utah.
And Utah. Okay,
Yeah.
There you go. And and his flagship store, of course, is in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, that I just visited. A beautiful place and a beautiful store and a great guy. And then we have Barry, and he's down in Texas, and he's also doing great things with it as well when he gets time, as we're all kind of busy. But I just wanted to bring us up here and let everybody know what they have for connections on it. And Nick, you wanna, as we go around here, you wanna say anything before we get out of here on it?
No, I mean, just if anyone's interested, follow me at @osmium_connect. You can find me there on Instagram. You can also get me on usaosmiumjewelry@gmail.com for any questions, anybody interested. And we can get you connected and get you on the osmium train, because it's going to be taking off soon.
Yep, indeed.
I noticed there was a $200 price bump, wasn't there, in the last week or so?
Yeah,
we're up to nearly $2,400 a gram now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, that's like a $400. Yeah, it's really jumped then, hasn't it? I didn't see
it
that.
was at 22 for a few weeks.
Yep.
It's partly the dollar falling against the euro, but partly they keep increasing the price of the osmium because they're the only ones that have got it.
Yeah. Oh, and I do, in my title here, I mentioned the well, here, let me see what did I say here? Quantum leap. So maybe we should mention that it is being considered in the quantum area now. Is that something anybody wants to touch on that, or?
Probably.
It's a superconductor at very low temperatures. Yeah.
Send people to Jesse's documentary he did on that. Gives a brief overview of all of the developments
on commodity culture.
Yeah.
Yep. Commodity culture. Jesse has a great documentary on it. So go over to commodity culture and check out that documentary. I'm not sure what it's called, but enter in Osmium over there, and I'm sure it will pull it up.
So yeah, the ticket
It's available now. Ian,
per GPU, and the amount of GPUs that are going to be required over the next decade is probably going to explode. So that alone will put a pretty significant bump into the Osmium supply.
Yeah, it does seem with its unique characteristics, it's going to be in high demand for very high, incredibly high value.
Is because these are going into quantum chips. Quantum chips are able to run the AI faster than anything else, and we need AI for everything from everyday stuff to security for national security. So they're going to put this near the high list of things they want, and that means that they're going to be bumping up the use of osmium to keep up with that. That's one of the reasons they're using so much electricity from the power grids.
Yeah,
so continues to develop. They'll be using probably more osmium. The last bit of advantage they can get in that space will be huge. So that another reason why the osmium price will probably continue to go up, not going to go down.
Right. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's what I heard, and with the I think that's with the computing chips, but also quantum computing overall. From what I've heard, you have to keep it at a really cool level for operation, and that's one of the things they were looking at with this product. Is it's so dense and can handle so much heat that they may be able to do that at a more room temperature and more efficient way. So. Yeah, from what I understand, they're just looking into it, and a lot of people are getting excited about it in that world. So, yeah, I'm sure that there's much to come in that area.
So I'm kind of doing, I don't know how much of interest this would be to you guys. I was trying to do, so I got sidelined. I'll just admit I've been in the hospital. Some kind of weird infection that I got in my elbow, and I'm nowhere. So that kind of sidelined me for a few weeks here. But I was getting ready to do and doing research on this, on the quantum space, and also trying to figure out what's going on with the amount of osmium. Osmium is supplied at about 1,000 kilograms per year total mining, and there may be 22 kilograms. We've been doing it for 10, 11 years. So we've gone on quite a bit of the amount that is mineable has been mined. About 350 kilograms of that will be turned into this osmium. So it's a very minute amount. And then you have this quantum chip expanding. It's got other characteristics. Could be useful possibly for nuclear fusion. It can block gamma radiation. We'll see how that plays out. But there's not going to be more of it. It's going to be less. And as the mining decreases and some of the uses for platinum decrease, because we're not making gasoline powered cars as much anymore, then the mining of that will go down. So it's on a downside, and that's I think one of the reasons why the price is going up higher for it. But there's very little osmium, and obviously that's why it's getting more narrow. So that's probably contributing to the bump. So, and as he's starting to take off in the jewelry space is, diamonds alone are $80 billion. It doesn't take anyone have 350 kilograms of this stuff. That's not enough even for a small piece for every person on the planet. So as this starts to take off into the jewelry space, it's not going to go anywhere but up. And why I got into it. It's a no-brainer. Ian introduced me. I was at a shop in Jackson Hole. I was fortunate to be one of the first, and he's showing this little bright, sparkly stuff. And I am grateful that he did, because it was amazing, and I wanted to get on this, and I've invested quite a bit into it. So I don't know how much you want to hear about me, but I'm actually a doctor. I got into medical devices and exited out of that, and got business experience. But anyway, this is, I think, every bit as good an opportunity or better. And the upside, I don't see many downsides. The upside is huge. I literally think it could probably Bitcoin at some point. But anyway, it is beautiful. It's super rare. It's very unique, and it's starting to find its way into jewelry. And usually, as with anything and opportunities, I'm in the entrepreneur and ecosystem all the time, and startups, and they're always. I'm at Texas A&M, constantly involved in that. I've been involved with the National Science Foundation, helping some of their startups go. And I can just tell you, where you want to get into a technology or into a new place is you want to get on the front side of it, because usually there's initial adoption and there's a wave. And as that wave hits, that's when it really grows and drives, and that's when the price goes up. So you want to paddle your surfboard out into the front of the wave and then catch the wave. And what's happening now is Osmium is brand new. It's starting to get in that space. That wave is starting to build, and you want to be on the front side of that wave. When it goes, you'll be able to ride it. kind of like gold and silver have done over the past year. So we've been watching that way. But I think osmium will, because it's so much more rare. The ability to squeeze this is tremendous. You know, as the other options go into play for the metal, it's just going to get more scarce, particularly this style. So that's some of the things I was hoping to get identified on. My own, by the way, I'm on Zarete Jewels at Instagram, so I have some education materials. I have website zarete.com, and I try to do some education materials there. It's been challenging for the last few weeks. Hopefully I can get caught back up with everything. But anyway, and I'm going to thank Kevin for having me on this.
Yeah, for sure. No, thank you. And I couldn't agree with more with what you're saying there. And yeah, gold and silver is starting to take off, but I think for all of them, like you say, it's still a great time to position yourself.
It's because it's so much more rare. I mean, we know silver is probably going to go a lot more than gold. Why? Because the gold to silver ratio is ridiculous compared to the amount mined. And just think of this. I mean, the osmium is about 30,000 times more rare than gold, somewhere around there. If you were to take this version of it, the osmium, the sparkling grade, and it's about 350 kilograms total, it's about over 500,000 times more rare than gold. I mean, it's unbelievably rare.
Yep.
And that's not a constant, because the amount of gold is increasing by about 2% each year.
I'm just saying, since 2011, which I could catch the data, how much mine versus osmium during that time period.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. Or 2014.
And with the higher gold price over $3,000, that's going to encourage more production. So we're going to get maybe not an exponential increase, but I think we could get quite a bump in gold production.
Well, especially as the dollars are, being pumped out. So we have this massive inflationary hedge, and way to play the way you're going to play inflation, especially stagflation, is usually precious metal. It's commodities. That's the historical pattern. If you look that up and you see what asset class performs best during stagflation, precious metals.
So the figures of the scarcity, it's fascinating. It's hard to grasp. So you said 500,000 times?
I calculated over 500,000 times more rare than the amount.
Half a million times rarer than the approximate amount of above ground gold.
Because it's only 350 kilograms.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing.
But then when you put that into context of what you can make with it, I think it would probably make about 8,000 or 9,000 of your watches.
Very few.
Or about, I think I did the math, 17,000. Yeah, 17,000 2-gram coin discs. So those are the 3/4 inch discs.
And think about this in comparison to diamonds. I mean, the volume of gold is probably less than the volume of diamonds. And diamonds now, that can be manufactured, and they're becoming more and more realistic over time. Right now, they can tell the difference. Now you want a less perfect diamond to be a natural diamond. That's what they tell the difference. The perfect diamonds they're too perfect. So it's kind of like.
And the value of lab diamonds has fallen over 90%. It's now close to its.
So
in some cases, it's below the cost of production, because they're
coming closer and closer to coming up to the natural diamonds, the impurities that are in them too. So what happens when they do? How much the value of diamond? You have an $80 billion market, and you talk about these inverted pyramids, right? You have diamonds at the top, for example. You have osmium at the bottom. It's so much more rare. And
so many manufacturers went into making diamonds, and they've got their fixed costs of the equipment they've bought. Some are actually selling them at a loss just to try and, survive long enough to recover the cost of their equipment. So I would have said it's more than highly improbable. It's impossible that you'll ever get that arms race with the crystalline osmium,
right? Because
it is such a complex.
That's why you want to get jewelry. You want to get jewelry from something like TheBee or Nick or something like this. You're going to be. I mean, if I sell this is
in front of your face, Barry. Cover your face up.
Oh, okay. That's an improvement. It is an improvement.
Oh, it's gone.
But it's still sparkly. It's beautiful. But why would you buy a diamond like that? It's going to go down in value when you could buy something like this. And this made it affordable for anybody who wants to on the low end. I've sold a few of these. I'm sure these people in 10 years are going to be thanking me for getting this, because it's going to be worth 10 times what they paid for it, as opposed to, example, this diamond ring, which I bought for my wife, back in '93, which I had it appraised recently, is worth no more than I paid for it that many years ago.
Was that the De Beers trap that you had to spend 2 months' salary on your engagement?
Well, yeah, I went in with my. I took my wife and she was.
It's literally they've
I
created
figured she picked something simple. I said,
created
She
a
picked
whole myth
that
that the man should spend 1/6 of his whole annual salary buying one piece of jewelry,
and then it's never going to go anywhere in value.
No.
I mean, that's the whole thing. The diamonds aren't going. There's $80 billion market for that for diamonds, right? And there's so why would you get something that's if you want to express somebody's true rarity, how rare they are, how special they are.
It's definitely I do really like some of the jewelry pieces that use diamond and osmium because in a low light, a diamond will catch light and give a glint where osmium won't. So they, I don't think they're dead, but osmium is creating its own category.
There's not enough osmium to replace diamonds. Period.
No.
If osmium were to catch on like diamonds were, which is starting to, it would become unaffordable completely.
I can see that. I was trying to show the price chart of osmium.
Yeah, I'll pull it up here in a second.
That's a beautiful graph too, because it's not disposed to be shorted. There's no market to short it, so there's no games that can be played with the price. So it's a pretty stable. Work on the liquidity side of that in the United States, and it's starting to get going here. We've introduced it to several well-respected jewelers. In fact, one of the main jewelers here in town, Ian, knows the jeweler there, and I already spoke to him about it. Here, he talked to me at one of the meetings recently. So I think the jeweler's starting to recognize it. And if you are going to do something special with it, I mean, there's only a few jewelers who can get to do something with this stuff. But when it really starts taking off, you won't be able to get any more. So
I didn't quite catch what you're saying at the beginning there. One of the jewelers near you.
One of the jewelers near me knows one of the jewelers at the Denver show.
Oh, cool, great.
I forgot the Greek name, but anyway.
Oh, the Greek, yeah, Manos.
Manos, yes.
Yeah.
He knew Manos is well respected. And
it was a lot of effort, and thank you all you guys for coming. But it sows the seed and. Right. Was there 17 jewelers there? Each took a piece of osmium away. Two jewelers are all actively making osmium jewelry, and you've just proved the point. That's made the connection. That connection has jumped to Texas from Colorado. That's awesome.
College Station of all too, not even Houston.
Yeah. Oh wow! Actually, in your city.
In my backyard. With third generation jeweler. I've already showed it to him, and it's kind of reaffirmed. So
now they're listening, or maybe they'll listen.
Yes, he's more interested. My problem is I was sidelined with this.
I wish I'd bought more at $900.
Well, we're all going to wish we bought a whole lot more, even at the price now, in another year or two. To be honest with you.
And I bought here right. I don't know if you can see. So right in my cursor right there at about 1650, kind of at a peak, and it fell back down after I bought it. Like everything else that I first buy into, it goes down. But now you can see that I'm quite happy.
You did not make a mistake.
Exactly. Yeah, and like Barry said, you buy into that jewelry for your wife or what have you, and that's one of the reasons on my channel I'm doing the pure metals movement, and that's one of the reasons why is because. I don't want you to have to buy into jewelry and then down the road lose all your value because that's
although we're all providing finished items with the osmium in, we're also providing the osmium at the retail price as well. So people have got the option. If you haven't got the amount for your dream piece of jewelry, you can buy the pieces of osmium, and then when you can afford to get them made into the piece, And the value, that core value of your raw piece of osmium is just steadily going up. Whereas if you there'd be no point buying a diamond, a diamond now with the intention of getting it made into a ring in 2-3 years' time, because it will be cheaper in 2-3 years' time. But if you buy a piece of osmium now, it's going to be more valuable in 2-3 years' time.
So I just did a quick search on AI, and I asked, how big is the junk jewelry market? How big do you think it is?
Which jewelry?
Junk jewelry.
Like costume, you mean? Or?
Costume jewelry. How much do you think people are spending on a year?
Oh, it's billions.
How many billions?
Oh, 20? 40? Really? More than 100?
80?
350. I'm saying it's in the global jewelry market.
Oh, the global.
Global, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
valued at $353 billion. Now,
Wow.
people are throwing that into junk jewelry. Why would you not throw it into this? Can you imagine what would happen to this? This is truly rare and valuable. It's not going to lose its value. Like, people are throwing $350 billion, and where's it going? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can spend it on this. That's why I'm trying to make it into these small pieces. At least they can afford it. Have nose rings as well.
Yep.
So even smaller people who can afford this, and you know, I'm just, anybody who wants to buy something, you should buy it. Now is the time to get it. If you want any one of these guys.
Yep.
And on top of the beauty of it, it also has that QR code that for security. The density of it can be counterfeited, or anything can be maybe counterfeited, but it'd be very, very
I
difficult.
don't think this one can. Not
It's very
successfully.
difficult. Yeah.
No, it is impossible to counterfeit osmium because in the crystalline form, it's the densest anything.
Densest metal.
It's impervious to being counterfeited because of the density.
This particular form,
it's impervious because of its physical appearance, never repeats, and it's impervious from counterfeiting because you can't dissolve it.
Yep.
And the other thing I'd like to pass along, as the market continues to struggle and people with money, trying to figure out what they want to do with it because they're trying to put it into something that's going to hold value. When they start realizing what osmium represents is a storage of value that can't be hacked into in their computer. It can't be disappeared with, somebody's computer, whatever. And they can carry it around with them in big value. That's when it's really going to really start taking hold.
And one thing I don't think we've even mentioned so far, it's the 8th precious metal.
8th and final precious metal to be brought to the market, indeed. And that's one thing that I've pointed out a couple times too, that I think is one of many, but a very big utility for this, just monetarily speaking, is like Barry was saying, you can take a disc and travel, or 2 or 3, and you can get 50 grand in a disc. And you can take 3 of those discs, travel to another country, and unload it there. And so you can take the actual physical piece, not be worried about traveling with it, as with a lot of other things, and have that value with you. So I think that's something that isn't talked about a lot, but is another great utility added to it. And since I think me and Ian and Space Miner have kind of hammered out, over and over what got us into it. But I should ask Nick that same thing. What are some of the highlights that you see in it that brought you into the metal itself?
What got me into it. What's that, Ian?
Yeah, that's what you were going to ask in the first place, I think, wasn't it?
Sure.
Well, what got me into it was actually just precious metals in general. I mean, I love silver. I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's being suppressed as far as price wise. And then that led me to, a good friend of mine is actually who introduced me to Ian, which is Roger. Ian knows him very well. And he started talking to me about this osmium stuff. And I'm like, well, what is that? And I kind of just started looking into it little by little, and then next thing you know, I started looking at the price, and I just kept seeing going up and up and up, and I'm like,
you ain't seen nothing.
It's just keeps going up. So I'm like, I'll get a little bit and see what happens. And then I started finding out about the jewelry aspect of it, and actually I talked to Scarlett from the Osmium Institute, and I'm maybe possibly putting some pieces on their Osmium website as well for sale.
There it is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, nice.
So that is Aragon's first bracelet, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Aragon.
Yeah. So I started it, and then, like I said, I just took it to my jeweler. He finished it off and set the bezel with the osmium, but I pretty much did the rest of it. I wasn't gonna try to set osmium and mess it up, so I'll let the professional handle it. But yeah, just taking classes too, and hopefully I can get to do some more stuff.
It does lend itself to a lot of applications. So this is Ingo Wolf's partner Iris makes these, and this is using animal horn. So she takes animal horn and stains it, and she's made it look like like a rare stone. And then I think that's a 7mm in there.
I love it.
Nice.
That's actually one of my favorite pieces because of the background is very interesting but fairly flat.
Yeah.
Then the Osmium has got the kick.
Yeah, fits in there well. Looks good.
And she's also using fossils, polished ammonites. So there's a whole world to explore in much lower cost backgrounds. Could be it doesn't even have to be an expensive stone, but a stone that is of interesting color and texture.
Well, I mean, if you think about it too, we just said like you can now make diamonds. You can make almost any emerald, crystal, precious stone because they're can all be, there's simply minerals put inside of the carbon and fused into a crystal, right? So there's not much that's really rare anymore in terms of
I can see that.
Of those kinds of things, of jewels. So for this
That's
stuff,
a bit bright, Nick.
Get some more pieces on there. The glare is not very. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There we go.
Right there.
Really? Oh, was that
There
the
it
heart
is.
ring?
That's a heart ring that I had made.
cool.
Cool. Yeah. So some of the highlights that brought you into it, Nick, was it the look? Was it
Yeah, the look, the rarity, the unforgeability, just all the characteristics that it has that other precious metals don't have.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about it on within our group. I kind of see it as a tangible crypto. This has the QR code. You can trace it. You can, you get your Osmium certificate of authenticity here.
Yep.
Print out.
Like crypto, except it's real. So yeah,
Exactly.
got
You can
that
hold
added
it.
bonus of actually being rare. So
It's
yeah,
tangible. Yeah. Hold it. You own it.
there you go. Very cool.
I didn't actually get to see it in sunlight before I jumped on it, and it was just so many things rolled into one element. The last precious metal, the density, the crystalline structure, the unforgeability, and to me it was a meld of a precious metal and superior in most, if not always, to cryptocurrency or a blockchain. It was a fusion of ideas and a fusion of ideals all into one transforming one element into another form. So I give people a lot of credit who buy it, who haven't seen it in sunlight. It's a lot easier to sell it when you show it to people in sunlight, or really, really close to sunlight.
Yep, and all the things that make it so valuable and attractive, and that's before the quantum computing got a hold of it. So now there isn't, that's just starting into looking into it. So I have a feeling there will be a lot more competition than on that side of it as well.
I think more than anything, it will be. I'm trying to think of the right words. A romanticism to it. If it's like at the cutting edge of the most powerful computers, what are they using? They're using raw osmium, not in the crystalline form.
No.
I think that just adds to the value. Particularly for men's jewelry and watches. If you think of watches, it's a diver's watch, or it's an aviator's watch, or it's a submarine watch, and hardly anybody who buys a watch goes in a submarine or flies a plane or is a diver. But they buy a watch because of that association with, So yeah. I think more than anything, its high-tech uses people will begin to know that osmium is an element. It's the 8th precious metal. Oh, wow, you can get it in a safe form that you can enjoy in jewelry. So I think more than anything, that will be the boost it will give to the crystalline osmium.
I wanted to say something else with it. There are other forms of osmium, like you can get it in these cubes and things of that nature. And but this is nice, but who wants to wear this as a piece of jewelry, right? Like just a flat piece of metal like any other. And it
will oxidize. to a certain extent.
Yeah. And so why would you want to put that on something? You really want something that's noticeable, and that stands out. And so that's what this particular osmium is. It's crystallized, it's vapor crystallized. It's a very long, very expensive process. It requires an entire manufacturing plant that has to heat up to super high temperatures. Very long, tedious. They mess up one step at 150 steps. It's all wasted work.
160
So yeah,
conditional steps.
this is a much more rare form of osmium than plain osmium. So some people,
And it's not just hot to boil it; it's over the surface temperature of the sun, isn't it? It's over 9,000 Fahrenheit.
and they have to hold it in a pure vacuum and get it down to these super pure levels, and then it has to put in these little tiny sheets, and then those sheets are cut up, and then after that they take it and they photograph them in a high microscopy and put them on the web and give each one a unique QR code, and then you can for free anytime do that QR code. So the company's hosting that data. They've gathered the data. They've paid a lot of money to get that data, and they're providing it to people for free in the market so they can validate that. And those are all rolled into the price of this stuff. I can't go anywhere and validate this. There's nothing rare or unique about this particular piece. It's just this. So if you want something that's true, that tells you, that the rarity and has the beauty and things of that nature, then that's another reason why we have this sparkling form. And that's what caught my attention to it. That's what makes it more rare, because this stuff, as I said, it's about 30,000 times more rare than gold, or along those lines. The sparkling version would be about over 500,000 times more rare. This is just a more rare form of it, but it's beautiful, and I think suitable for jewelry. Like, I wouldn't want to make a watch. I mean, this watch is unreal, and it's just too bad you can't see it when it's in the sun. Put it in my face, because it is.
There you go.
Unreal.
Turn it slightly sideways as you do.
There's nothing. I've never seen anything like it, and the sunshine, absolutely unbelievably brilliant and beautiful.
So you're going to buy your wife one as well now?
I couldn't put it down until and then when I did, you see what happened. You put
it down. Barry got it. Yeah.
Barry jumped on that thing.
Yeah, I did. And,
so in its sponge form, like in the quantum area, I think that's how they're after it. But and then you have the other form that he just showed you, kind of in the sintered bead type stage. But that'll oxidize it, and in both of those they put off a poisonous gas if they oxidize there, especially the sponge. You don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with the sponge. Absolutely.
But even with the sintered, you might get a little bit of that, and like Barry says, you can't identify that. You can't make sure that you have what you have with that piece. Whereas in these crystalline pieces, each one forms as a snowflake. They're all unique. And tell me that, what is it, 10,000 times
per square millimeter, 10,000 times more recognition points. Because when you do fingerprinting, they're looking for unique intersections. And that's when you get a match of 20, you can statistically almost 100% prove that that's somebody's fingerprint. But the osmium, for every square millimeter, which is a little bit bigger than, that's a 0.7 diameter pen tip. So a little bit bigger than that square, from a high resolution photograph, has 10,000 more recognition points than a human fingerprint. But you can go on. If you magnify that, it's almost unlimited, the number of intersections and angles in that crystalline structure. Theoretically, I'm sure it could possibly have some uses because of that. I know Space Mine had an idea of making a laser red key. So you'd be only that piece of osmium. I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to damage your key, so you'd have to keep that in a protective. But that would be an interesting application. Rather than using your palm print, you could have an osmium key that could not be hacked.
Indeed.
So, and one way I like to think about it is, people talk about the difference. I mean, you can have an old Ford Pinto, and you can have an old Ferrari, right? They're old pieces of metal with wires, but one has far greater value than the other, right? And why? It's because it has a lot of characteristics that are desirable to people. That's what gives it a value. People are desirable to it. I mean, if you want to drive Ford Pinto, you're welcome to it. I want the old Ferrari or something a little more special. If you want the regular, you can buy it. There's nothing stopping you from. But if you want something more special, that's beautiful, it's suitable for use in jewelry, then you have this stuff, and that's what makes it even extra special to me.
It's an interesting addition to a precious metal stack.
Yeah,
I still,
by all means, exactly. I don't own.
I still try and do my best to persuade people to make sure their core position is silver,
right,
before they go too deep into osmium. But it's useful because obviously the traditional precious metals are priced in dollars. Yeah, osmium is priced partly based on the euro, so you're getting some, a large insulation against the falling dollar. That's part of the reason we've had such a dramatic price increase.
Oh, that's
the dollar is falling against the euro, and the euro is falling against gold. And when you start looking at all the ratios since the formation of the euro's lost 90% of its value against gold, and that's one of the most recent fiat currencies. It's already.
So this is what I'm saying is, if the people recognize that it's not to put money in currency, and if we put it on an investment, and certainly you want to diversify, right? Diversify is one of the key characteristics of preserving your wealth. If you're going to have some metals, I diversify into different ones. So this is not, I have other metals as well, but this is just one of the ones I have that help allow me to diversify. But on the potential upside, none have as much upside potential as this does, and that's based solely on its rarity. And I think as it's adopted into jewelry, if it's really start to capture hold into the jewelry market, this stuff will Bitcoin. Not if, it will Bitcoin.
I see we got a bit of a crypto conversation going on with Gerald there. It's like I'm quite happy keeping out of it. I think part of it is actually a conditioning trap to get people used to just digital.
For sure.
And when they roll out the central bank digital currency, everything is going to get connected to that. So the central data will be the Fed now, the digital dollar, and for everything else to be allowed, real estate, cars, you name it, everything will be linked to that and recorded in that. So I think there's a high chance that all of these independent currencies, Bitcoin and all Tether and all of the different, there's a high chance they're going to get swept up and pulled into this one Borg system where that's your on and off ramp is, and it all becomes one massive data kept on everybody, what everybody's got, but it's digitally recorded. So that's my concern, and that's why personally, now whether I'm right or wrong, I don't mind. I know I'm going to do fine with just the traditional real metals I can hold. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I've just been watching some shows on China and what's going on over there, and they were just talking and saying that now that everybody has just been moved on to this new digital platform, the digital yuan, and you can no longer do anything basically unless you have this new digital ID connected to the yuan. Yep. And one of the things that they said is you couldn't even get onto the internet unless you had signed on to that new digital ID. Yeah. So that's what I've been pointing out that for a long time, that when they rolled into this new system, as valuable as your Bitcoin may be, you're going to have to jump in line to
you will have to. Yeah, it will be assimilated into this vast data. And that control will be near complete, because even a modern car can be switched off remotely. So if your car isn't registered into the system, it probably won't work. It's like,
yep.
So if you want to live without a modern car, without a phone, without a computer, without the internet, you may be, if you can afford a cabin in the woods in rural Idaho somewhere, you might be able to live out your life in relative isolation. But for the most of us, we're going to have to, I don't know, flirt the system, skirt the system. We're going to have to do what we have to do. But I would urge people to consider what is not recorded, what is private, and no crypto, no coin is private. It's all recorded. It has to be recorded for it to work, for proof of work, who owns what, who's sold what, who's exchanged what. So, people say, well, I can put it into a cold wallet. Well, never use it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
What if the grid goes down?
There is, so no, I don't know. The resistance. Triple Eight said resistance is futile. I think he's quoting some sci-fi film.
Right.
So I think head-to-head confrontation is futile. But the only way you can resist it is to have assets and skills that are outside of the digital world.
That's it. That's it. So when even if that system, if what happens over in China happens here, it's not that a lot.
It's happening, isn't it? I watch a few articles on banking in England. And this guy went in, he wanted to draw out £2,500, so about $3,500. He was going shopping to buy his son a motorbike. He decided that's how much he was going to spend. The bank would not let him draw out £2,500 until he showed them the motorbike he was going to buy. And this kept going round and round. He said, but I don't know which motorbike I'm going to buy. I want the money, then I'm going to go and find the money.
Yeah.
And they would not give him, they would not let him draw out cash out of his account. Now, I don't know if it's France, I think it's France, it's a really low amount, it's the maximum you can draw in cash. Now, I don't know what it's like across America, but that's coming more and more.
Yeah.
And that's a sign. That has to be a sign that they want complete knowledge of what everybody is doing.
Yep.
And that knowledge will be stored and will be used. It may be used. It will be used against you.
Yeah, so I heard some of this stuff may even have an expiration date as well. If you don't use it in a certain amount of time, you may even.
Oh, heck, yeah. I mean, that's the incentive if they need to create some velocity to,
keep the system going.
Yeah, and when they shut you off from buying your meal, if you have a family, for what, and it can be for, because you bought a sugared cereal instead of a bran flake at the grocery store, and then they shut your card off. Yeah. And, if you have a family that's looking to eat and you have no other means of accessing things, that puts that much more, heat and burden on you. So yeah, having just some choices that are, outside of the electronic grid. Because if you have your Bitcoin, you can't even get back onto it now because you've bought in some sweetened, cereal.
So one of the concerns I have, and I'm not educated on one of the other points you guys have made, but I do know that the power grid is stretched thin. You also have the fact that the U.S. needs as much electricity as they can possibly generate for AI. So that's going to continue to be pushed. And then the fact that the Chinese have put in a bunch of backdoors into a lot of electronics that go anywhere from stuff that operates our docks to your refrigerator.
Your fridge is listening to you.
Yeah. And so what happens if they decided, one day to take out key components of our electronic infrastructure?
I mean, heck,
if all the electronic currency you want, but if you don't have electricity, you will not be able to transact forever a period along the electricity's out. So it'd be nice to have something for, a little bit. And I don't know how realistic that really is. But
Gerald might know the answer to this. So I got a question for Gerald. So I watched an article a few days ago that when Israel was extensively bombing Iran, they had to shut down a lot of their grid, shut down completely for a while. Now, I haven't heard secondary proof of this, but apparently Iran does 25% of the Bitcoin mining. 25% of the whole world's Bitcoin mining happens in Iran because they're using that to so they don't have to export their oil. They can turn their oil into electricity and use the electricity to mine Bitcoin, and that's a lot easier to break the sanctions. And now I heard this from a guy who came over from Idaho Falls. I must call him to get more information because he did explain it really clearly to me. And he was a crypto guy. His mum was an FBI coder, and he started coding before he could talk. And he said he won't go near Bitcoin because if a certain amount of miners stop mining, the whole thing collapses and can't be recovered. So maybe that's Iran's protection, not getting a nuclear weapon. If they keep mining more and more Bitcoin, they could just say, well, if you bomb us again, we'll turn off the Bitcoin. And that will crash Liberty Finance. Well, who owns Liberty Finance? The orange guys, the clan of grifters. So.
Yeah. And so Silver Dave, promoting somebody else's channel, but there's a guy out there, Silver Dave, and he's saying that the white paper on the very algorithm that all the different cryptos use for their hash graph of saying, okay, this was a sale, it's official, the math works out. And so that very code that does that hashing is owned by the Department of Defense or I can't remember if it was the Department of Defense or the NSA, but one of those intelligence organizations, and they're the actual holders of that code. Again, I've always thought it was CIA because it came out after the financial crash, and to me it's a baited hook for people who don't really understand what's going on, but will figure out that the dollar is losing value.
We probably should have some crypto experts on here to explain that, because I don't think that's yeah, I really don't know enough about that. What I do know is that it requires electricity, and I'd prefer to have something in hand that, because I think you have to know quite a bit to be able to secure your own computer, your own network. That much I do know, because I was over security of our company when we had one, and that would keep me up at night trying to keep somebody out of my system, my home. And if I had tons of money stored in the cryptos, even on my home computer and a wallet, how do I keep somebody from hacking into it? That's just the old school part of me that I find concerning, because I think you have to have a great deal of knowledge of how to secure your home network and your computer. And it's beyond my knowledge. I know that. And that's beyond my knowledge, and it's beyond probably the average American. So if you're going to be an average American, you should, I'm not saying don't get any cryptos, but I'm saying diversify into something that you can have an Ethereum or an ethereal world, but have some physical as well.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I was just listening to an interview with Martin Armstrong. I don't know if you know who that is. He Capital Cosm, I think, is the channel that it was on, and they were saying that they traced back I forgot the guy's name,
Satoshi Nakamoto.
That guy. That if you translate it to Japanese,
Central Agency,
it was like central
agency, central agency. Just put the intelligence. Just put the intelligence in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's hidden in plain sight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually had the nerve to call it after themselves, the government organization that gave birth to Bitcoin.
Yeah, and a blockchain, a block and tackling chain. I mean, whatever. But
they have to tell us, right? They have to tell us what they're doing.
Yeah. Give me hash browns instead of hash graph. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wish I knew. I don't know enough to comment on that whole space.
So keep it real, keep it metal.
That's it. And like we're saying, this is the something very unique, something that can be, you do get your digital. At first I was kind of scared away by the digital footprint that was attached to it. I was like, oh, what's this about? It's got this code that is connected to the internet, and it's that scared me at first. But once you realize, oh well, it's just proof of ownership, and that way it can't be stolen. It's not like it's tracked or something like that. So it is a unique crypto within itself, except it's real, it's tangible. And not only can you prove ownership of it through the net, you can, like I was saying, fly to another country, prove that you own it there, and sell it there in a heartbeat. So,
Well, I think the beauty of this is that it's more difficult to steal and then sell, because if I own it and then someone steals it, I can report it as stolen. Yeah, and it can go into a database, and then someone goes to try to sell it again. Because at some point, someone wants to validate it, right? And at the point they want to validate that this stuff is what it is and who it is, they're going to see, hey, this was stolen. So it just makes it, not to say that people want to, I just think it makes it less attractive as a target to try to steal because of that. Not that that proof of ownership is 100% or anything. I'm just saying it's just less attractive because you can kind of track down, who the owner was before. And so anyway.
Yep.
Well, prime example was Colorado when Ian tracked down, or somebody tracked down Ian, that piece that you found online.
Yeah, I saw a rectangular piece. I was looking for something to do with Osmium. I wasn't looking for pieces of Osmium, and this came up on eBay. And it was $500 or something. And I looked up, and it showed the code, the alphanumerical code. So I tapped it in, and it was an $830 piece. So I thought, and it came in, it had all the original packaging and everything. So I'll just buy this, get it off the market, then work out what's going on. So I tell the Osmium Institute, and they can look up who was the last registered owner. Obviously, they can't share that data with me. So they emailed him and they phoned him. No response, 0 response, multiple times. And so then they gave me his phone number, and I sent him a really polite text saying who I was and why I wanted to find out if he had willingly parted with the piece of Osmium. And I heard nothing back. And then at the symposium, I got a call from him that he had actually sold it. But for whatever reason, he hadn't transferred the OICC. So it's a delicate balance of privacy with the database. And I think if somebody just off the street had contacted the Osmium Institute and say who is the owner, they probably wouldn't have told them. But because I'm a state institute and the acting regional director for the US, I think they allowed me to send a message to him directly. And
well, probably all the institutes in the United States, we probably each have authority. It's our job for our territory to make sure things are running smoothly within it. So
it's unlikely to happen ever again, but it shows that it can be.
I don't think it's unlikely. I think it's.
And then the next step, I would have taken a high resolution photograph of the piece, and they would match it from that. And they're developing the database to be able to do that, to identify the pieces by appearance.
That's also kind of cool too, because you want to have a link so somebody famous might have owned a piece, for example. At some point, I think basketball players might get into this. You might have a piece that came from a basketball player. It might be cool to have that lineage, as something that's unique, who owned those kinds of things, especially as time goes on. So there's little unique pieces to it that are fun, like that. And like I said, it's not for everything, but it's kind of cool. I think it's cool anyway.
So we haven't. Did you go long lived? Did you say what was your initial attract? I can't. Was it the first time you saw Osmium when you came to the?
It was the first time I seen it. There's video footage of it.
Was that the first time you'd heard about it, or as well?
That was the first time I'd heard about it, seen it, knew anything about it at all, and was fascinated with it, seeing it.
Because you're a very down to earth guy, very methodical. I would say very wise for your age as well. You're not going to be swept off your feet by something fancy and shiny, are you? You would not fall for snake oil.
No, I was very intrigued by it, but I didn't buy it immediately. Well, actually, no, I think that I'm not sure if I did buy some before I left.
You did.
I did. Yeah. But I was it was the second day. The first day I just seen it and was thinking about it, and so I was skeptical about it. But when I ran through everything about it, it's like this is going to be like Barry's saying, you on these types of things, you want to get out there in front and let the wave carry you. And I was impressed with all the aspects. The digital side of it did scare me a little bit, but once I was explained what it was about, and I'm very very intrigued by it. Very glad I got on board. Way more sold on it today than I was when I first bought it.
Is that the shooting star there, Kevin, or LSE?
What's that?
Is that the shooting star that you
yeah, and so we were talking about it, and Ian was showing me the website from Germany, and we were looking through the pieces, and he was like, "Ooh, I like this. I haven't seen this before." And I was like, "Oh wow, I really like that piece too." And he's like, "Oh, there's only 2 pieces left." He's like, "I better
we ordered them both, didn't we?
Get one." And I was like, "Okay, well, you better get me the other one." So yeah.
What I tell people is very few people will probably even hear about it. Even fewer will see it, and even fewer will actually ever own a piece. It's a level of scarcity. Once 1 or 2% of the population, jewelry buying population, learns about it, it's all gone.
I just love how it represents rarity. I mean, if you have something you really love, you want to do something that's truly rare. They express how special they are to you. I like that aspect of it myself personally.
That me too. Being the most dense, most unique, most rare. I mean, the list of things that it's the most of, and being a precious metal and the most dense and most rare, and that it's about the most indestructible thing out there. I mean, it has so many unique characteristics, and since I'm already so in love with silver and gold, I mean, it just you can't not want it when you understand the rest of the aspects about it.
I just see Gerald there's mentioned fully fungible token. I thought that was my idea. I thought I said fully fungible token before anybody else. Because that's literally, I didn't have the words for it when I first saw Osmium, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is physical, but it's ethereal, it's a code, and that's the best, one of the best descriptions to call it. It's a fully fungible token.
Not like the Chuck E. Cheese tokens that they want.
Not like the non-fungible, the non-existent token. Yeah.
Well, and I'll get one to the point, the fact that it's attached to your name. I mean, you have car, right? Your car is registered. It obviously has a value, but you don't mind. It's registered. It's on a database someplace. So it's just like.
And your house.
And your house. Yeah. Any property.
It's also the most reflective and the most abrasive resistant, correct?
Yep.
It's more, if you dragged a piece of crystalline osmium across a diamond, the diamond will lose. Yeah.
And Space Miner has corrected me, and so I should say and be a little bit more precise. It's the most natural, it's the most reflective, natural occurring metal in this form. You can take, like Space Miner was saying, you can take and like shine chrome to a more reflective thing, but just natural occurring it is, so.
And non-radioactive.
And and it's the most dense anything, bar none, that's not radioactive.
I don't think there's anything radioactive that is, unless it's transitory, that's only stable for a millisecond or two.
Right.
Anything that is even moderately stable and radioactive isn't as dense. I think I'm correct in saying that.
And another thing that's very cool about it is, even though in its original form it can be toxic, in its crystallized form, it's the most inert. Like I could drop Space Miner's number 1 here into some aqua regia acid that will melt the silver into a liquid, but that 3 millimeter
dissolve.
Dissolve. And but that little 3 millimeter crystalline osmium inset there would not dissolve. It would be just fine sitting at the bottom of the glass.
I think on that latest documentary, Jesse said that the Institute have done experiments up to 400 centigrade in pure oxygen, and it still doesn't break down.
Wow.
Because everything oxidizes.
And most noble, like out of the noble metals, like gold is very noble, but I've heard osmium
in
is
the
right
crystalline
there.
form. Yeah.
Yep. So again, yeah, just the list of things that
It's strange, isn't it? Originally it looks like it snuck into the precious metals because it hasn't got, in its raw form, it hasn't got the properties of the precious metals.
But people wonder why it hasn't done more in the past. And, I've actually done medical devices in this industry. I can just tell you, nobody in their right mind is going to create, and that's one of the questions we get about what industrial use. When I talk to a lot of investors, what's the industrial use for it? And honestly, that is an ignorant question to some degree.
Yeah.
Respectfully. But the reason that is, for example, if I'm going to create an industry, like for solar panels, you have a supply of silver. I can continue to get the supply of silver. If I were to make solar panels out of osmium, I would go bankrupt. I would spend $100 million developing this thing and then run out of a product that I could afford within a couple of years. Nobody
that nearly happened with palladium, didn't it? When they
no one in the right mind,
switched,
nobody in the right mind is going to create an industrial use for this stuff.
When they switched predominantly from platinum to palladium went from $400 an ounce, troy ounce, to 3,600.
So nobody in their right mind is going to create an industrial use for this. Except for now there are, because of the advantages of AI and how important that is, and that will continue to pull out from the limited supply that there is. But now it's also going to jewelry. And as I've told you, jewelry is hundreds of billions of dollar market.
Sure.
Right? It doesn't take much penetration into that to Bitcoin the price.
No, the market is limitless compared to the supply.
Yeah. So in terms of the market, the potential market size of jewelry, even diamonds, $80 billion. Like we penetrate 1% of that, it's Bitcoin. This thing is over. And you can take this if you want to and try to make a piece of jewelry, but I don't think it's terribly exciting compared to the other one. So that's my point. This is got the most, in terms of squeeze, they're trying to squeeze silver, trying to squeeze gold. This is squeezable, and good luck trying to short it. If they ever try to buy enough to short it, if you create an exchange, this price is going to go through the roof.
Yeah, I think silver can be squeezed. I'd put this in a whole different category. Like,
yeah. So it'd be very difficult to squeeze. This is the easiest squeeze ever. Just used in place of a diamond. I mean, that's the other part that I love about it. So we're just talking about the things that are special about this particular thing, the opportunity that it attracted me into it, and these are some of the points. So how much longer are we going on?
Well, as long as people have interesting things to say, I'm down to keep going. I've dropped a question in for you, Ian, in the private chat. I don't know if you can see that on your computer. If you don't mind reading that and answering me, I could jump onto that subject, but I didn't want to drop it without knowing whether it was okay to talk about or not. And yeah, Space Miner, are you going to be able to join it? I'm not able. Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
No, I'm still waiting.
Still waiting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't have to wait as long as you did for your hexagons.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Who else wants to drop any? Who's got something else they want to say before we wrap up here? Anybody else have any input they want to throw in?
Oh, we have got an event at the end of August in Beverly Hills on Friday the 29th, public access.
Hey, Kevin, would you post my Zarete jewels to the chat for everybody else?
Yes. And so just tell, what is it again? I got your Zarete.
It's on the private chat. Just copy.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, perfect. Yeah. All right. Yep.
Login for.
Hey, Ian, the symposium, it's silver and gold miners. Is that what it's for? And then you're bringing osmium.
It's precious metals, tangible asset. Yeah. Basically.
When's the conference and where is it?
It's in Beverly Hills, the last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of August.
Why don't we always find out these things like the last minute?
Yeah, no, I plan on attending that as well. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be exciting. I think, Nick, are you going to be there as well? I heard possibly.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to be there for sure.
Very cool. So that to look forward to. And Nick, this is your information in the private I can drop as well, Nick?
Yeah, I think I put it on there, but you can go ahead and repost it.
Yep. Okay.
That's
Cool.
my
And that's
Instagram.
okay. All right, cool. Well, yeah, Space Miner just looks like he made it into the chat. He was going to join us originally, but he was busy with some important work. So, but glad you could stop in and say hi. And
Mr.
yeah,
Space Miner, what's up?
Space Miner is always doing some amazing stuff with this new metal. He was made for this metal, I think. You know, Nick is doing incredible things. Barry's doing good things. Ian, of course, he's introducing it all to us. I'm excited about it. But Space Miner, he's kind of unique with his chemistry mind, and he's put out some amazing products too. Hopefully, next time we'll bring him on and show off some of those as well. You can also go over to his channel and pick up his new round inlaid with osmium, and it's called Salvo, I believe is the name that he's going with this new 3.9s. I believe it's even 4.9 silver, but it's labeled as 3.9s. It was purchased as 4.9s, but there's sometimes they're just kind of stingy about putting that fourth 9 on there. But it is pure silver inlaid with crystalline osmium. Again, what I like really about this piece is this allows you to, like Barry was saying, purchase it at a small price, at a little price, but it gets your foot in the door and you can experience it. Watch your value start to go up and decide whether you're looking for more. But this is a cool way that you can look at it, store it, handle it, show it to people. And if it's just the little tiny piece itself, it can you might worry about dropping or this and that, but in something like this, or in the new bullet that I'm making here that we're gonna be selling, or Barry has some earrings, Nick has jewelry. We're all trying to meet you guys, at different levels, so that you guys can get in at a good price and ride the waves. So
yeah, if you've got $32,000, you can have the full domino set.
Or yeah, if you looking for something like that, you got Ian down in Jackson Hole, where it's beautiful, but everything there is in a different ballpark than I'm used to. So, but yeah, we got all levels, and I think it's a great time to get in. You want to get in early. This is where we are very early. It's only been released in Germany for about 12 years now, roughly, and has just been in the U.S. maybe getting close to 3 years now, or maybe even 4 now. I'm not sure. I'd have to look, but it's new. It's just
It's been 8 years since it's introduced in Germany officially to the market, and it took a few years to penetrate that, people get knowing it. So now it's starting to roll. It's starting to get its way into jewelry in Europe. It's making it into these luxury watches brands, as we've showed you, and that trend usually follows the United States. Once it starts hitting full swing in the United States, price is going up.
Yep, and there are other institutes around the world that are just getting opened up as well. So the knowledge is just getting out there on it, and there's not a lot to go around. So the sooner you get in, I think the better. But like I always say, and Ian says, you want to have a good base of silver or gold, or your basic, really very liquid products that everyone knows about, everyone understands. Once you have a good foothold there, then you can move into some of these other areas where I think there's a lot more potential, but again, it's not as well known. So, all right.
And shout out to Kevin for the logo. Good job on the logo, Kevin, and Space Miner.
For the hat. I like it. I got mine back over here. I'm leaving the sticker on it. I'm keeping that baby pristine. So
you're a cool guy.
You'll have to get Space Miner on to tell the full story of the salvo.
Yeah, for sure. Space Miner, and like I said, Michael, another guy out in California, he wants to be here. Said he'll be here on our next live, and so more still to come, more great ideas and more connections. So Yeah, and
Michael
and
I are
my
actually going to be sharing in California and Nevada, so we'll be dipping into Nevada hopefully soon once we get everything all set up.
awesome. And I Space Miner just
It's perfect.
picked up
That
Space Miner.
Vegas alone may drive the whole market.
Hey,
Right.
the Silver State, right?
And the glittery one.
And Space Miner just picked up Arizona, I believe, as well. So that's cool. And and then my Osmium Nectar, which is going to be delivered here probably. I should have it next week. And that's going to be a great way to stack. Not only is the hexagon the most efficient way to stack, we worked hard to get it so that it's like at a bullion rate. You're getting it without any cut cost, the lowest you can get it. And if you're coming here to purchase it, there's going to be more deals to be had on my channel. And Silverboy Blues, welcome in. Silverboy Blues and Triple Eight the Great have been great supporters early on. So since they've been with me early on and support me, they're gonna come in with an initial bump in discount, so others can work their way in as well. I'm really excited to be able to offer that line and at the cheap inlet price like that. So I've got a lot. Hopefully, I'm really excited to get that here and do some videoing on it. And so stay tuned for that stuff, guys. Go check out. I will drop these guys' link one more time in the chat while they're saying goodbye. Go check out Barry in Texas and Nick in California and Ian in Jackson, Wyoming, and Space Miner out in New Mexico. So check them all out. And why don't you guys just go around and tell everybody who you are, where you're from, where to find you, and we'll get out of here. So let's start with you, Nick. You wanna just let everybody that's got some new people in here, tell them where you're located, who you are, where to find you.
Yeah. So my name is Nick. I'm from San Diego, California, and just became working on becoming a State Institute partner in California and in Nevada, as I said, partnering up with Michael Kushner, also, who's been the State Institute partner for California. So we're gonna tag team and try to do some big things.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, and
you're gonna try and succeed.
That's true. Yes. Yeah. Love your optimism, Ian. But yeah, at Osmium_connect for any Instagram info. I'm a little new on it, but getting it going, and it'll get better with time.
Keep going on price, as you see.
Okay, Barry, let's hear it from you. Barry down in Texas. I just dropped Nick's information in California there at Osmium Connect in the chat. You can find him there, and I'm dropping Barry's Zarete Jewels on Instagram link right now. So go check these guys out, and Barry, take it away. You want to say goodbye to everybody, Barry, and let them know where you're at?
Yeah, thank you. I'm in College Station, Texas, so I'm central, right in the middle between Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas. I can literally drive into those places in one day and come back. So I can hit most of the main hubs in Texas within one day. Happy to go meet anybody if they're around here. And in fact, I enjoy it. It's a great state, and it's kind of an exciting thing to be doing. And I have a website, Zarete.com. This is where I sell the jewelry. Right now, I've been focusing on lower end pieces. I'm trying to make it accessible for the average person to be able to get a piece of this, because I think it's a great opportunity for them, and the chance to showcase more osmium to more people, to help us get into that market and make it more aware for more people. But I hope they do some higher end pieces here, things going. And then I have a website, Zarete.com. Of course, I also have the regular pieces. If you want to have your own custom-made jewelry, I have pieces that you can buy directly from me, or we're working on getting a supply here that Ian will have in that we can get more readily, because otherwise you have to purchase it from Germany. It takes a little bit of time. But we do have pieces you can do for custom pieces if you wish. So just as you want, and yeah, establishing relationships with jewelers here in town that we can make custom pieces. If you're here in Texas, want to do that. But anyway, there's more exciting opportunities that are coming. But anyway, that's enough for now. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Barry. And everybody knows Ian. I've had him on many times, but go ahead, Ian. Just
yeah, best way to get hold of me is 307-264-9441.
You're brave, man. I get so many spam calls nowadays.
Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, I think that's
let me get my email address. It's Zerete@runbox, runbox.com. Zerete@runbox. I'll put that out there.
All right, yeah. Very cool. And yeah, okay. So thank you all for being here. And if you guys want to hang out, I want to say a few things in private after this. So hang with me. But everybody out there in chat, thank you so much for saying hello, stopping in.
Nice to meet everyone.
Silverboy Blues, good to see you. And everybody else, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And we will catch you all on the next one. Thanks, guys.